Welcome back to my enesems ELT tutorials. I've been dealing with features of communication, and communication is of two types: linguistic, non-linguistic, or verbal or non-verbal, and also written communication. So, our main concern being verbal or linguistic communication, we will deal with this subject. In my earlier video lesson, I think I have talked about the information gap between the two persons involved in the conversation or in communication. And this information gap is essential for the communication to take place. What is this information gap? Let me remind you once again. Information gap is nothing but the to be shared information between the two interlocutors, the two persons involved in communication. So with this to be shared information, that is information gap, that prompts them to come into contact and talk to each other. So this information gap is very, very important in intrapersonal communication. Then the choice of language. This choice of language and the style. I told you there are two distinct styles, that is formal and informal style. As you know, formal style we use when we talk to our elders, superiors, officers, to persons whom we respect. That is formal style. But when we talk to our colleagues or friends or to our kith and kin, our relatives, we use informal style. Rather, informal style is friendly style. Further, with close friends, you can further be more informal, in the sense you can be, say, in very close talking terms, you can use singular terms of address and like that. In Telugu we call, when we are so close, we call emra, friendship, that kind of friendship, kyare, ऐसा भी friendship हो सकता है. So that is informal style of communication. And again, this choice of language or style depends upon the personal relationship between two interlocutors, the two persons involved in communication. The personal relationship could be between two relatives, father and son, etc., or between officer and staff, or teacher and headmaster, or teacher and teacher, like that, between colleagues, like that. So then the next thing is background. That is very, very important. What is this background? Known background is important. When the background is known for the two interlocutors, the two persons involved in communication, the communication will be of a different type. Perhaps sometimes the conversation appears to be rather incoherent. For example, say A meets B and then asks him, "Are we going to get our salaries today?" And then B says, "No, our chairman is in Hyderabad." It means they are not going to get the salaries because their chairman is in Hyderabad, and so the checks cannot be signed and then encashed. So that is the known background. So you can easily understand. So like that, background is also important. Then social milieu or setup. This is the place, exact place where the two interlocutors are involved in conversation. It could be in one's house or at the marketplace or at the office or at a mall or at a street side. So depending upon that also, conversation style changes. Suppose two friends, one is an officer, one is a subordinate. But when the two meet in their office, the subordinate will definitely address him as sir. But again, suppose they meet at a marketplace or at a mall, they could be in familiar terms and no kind of addressing sir like that. So that kind of style changes when the social milieu or setup changes, right? Then the mood of the speakers involved in the conversation, that is whether they are in pleasant mood or angry mood or jovial mood or in sorrowful mood, sad situation, so or say very critical mood. So this mood also has some influence on the choice of language. For example, to make you understand, and as this is going to be viewed by many Telugu people, let me take an example from a Telugu house. Suppose a husband comes home and then gets ready for dinner, say for lunch, and he asks his wife to serve him food, but his wife says, yes, I am coming, but at the same time she is busy in watching a TV serial or current episode. Then she immediately doesn't go there and then serve him, and then after waiting for 5 minutes, and perhaps he gets rather irritated, annoyed or irritated, and then he can shout, are you going to serve me or not? Throw some food on my face, I will eat and then go away. So like that, the situation, the mood of the speaker also influences the choice of language. Choice of language changes depending upon the mood of the speaker. And then the next one is suprasegmental features like stress and intonation. I will take up this item in my next video lesson. Thanks for watching.